Right, one of the songs, Babing Site by Takie Ndou, singer and songwriter, popularly known as the Psalmist. He joins me now in studio to talk about his latest work. It's called The Glory. The album was out in just 20 days and saw some million streams, and I'm sure it has surpassed it. Good to have you. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm so happy to be here. Thank
Your
you
voice
so
is
much
now permanently like this because your work rate surpasses any other I've really seen in so many years. I mean, you are permanently performing summer. You come from a sold-out show already with the Bishop last night. How was that?
It was amazing. It was the grace of God, and we've just seen the mercy of God and a great move of God. And we thank God that, you know what, the music that we're doing is healing people. It's giving hope to people, which is our mandate.
You posted a picture of yourself and Rofi where you started, right? They said
Yes,
before Arumet.
Yes, sir.
It's a far distance to where you are, right?
I'm telling you.
But what's particularly poignant for me is the fact that the energy that we saw you put in back then, it's still the same energy that you're putting in today when you're on stage.
Thank you, sir.
What keeps you going?
I mean, for me, I've told myself that whatever opportunity that I get to minister to people or whenever I'm given a stage to perform, I'm going to treat it as if it's my last performance, because you never know when your last performance will be. So that is one thing that motivates me to say, what if this is my last time on stage? I have to give it my best. I have to give it my all. And I know you never know who is there. You never know who needs to hear the message. You never know who needs to hear your voice. So I always treat it as such.
Yeah. What were you talking about with Rofi at the time? What were you dreaming about?
Sure, we were telling ourselves that we believed that we were like the best duo, the best gospel duo. We believed that, and one thing that we realized at the time that we concluded was that we are probably ahead of our time. So maybe let's take a step back and start afresh, and then we'll come back again and do this properly.
And now when you are seeing it come together, I mean, a million streams in 20 days. That is a milestone for any faith-based content in the country at this particular point. You will talk to me about the journey of the glory and some challenges that you went into losing your hard drive and so on and so forth. But when you saw that happen, what was going through?
For me, I mean, it's a fulfillment of the word of God. I remember when we were preparing for the album, I fasted for 40 days. I did a Daniel fast, just dedicating it to the album and just spending time by myself, spending time with God to get inspirations for new songs. So those are the things that I prayed for, to say, Lord, I want this album to reach a lot of people in Africa. And believe me, we had a lot of streams from Tanzania, Ghana, and Kenya, or actually also in Rwanda. So I'm just happy that the album is reaching a lot of people in Africa, obviously, and also at home in South Africa. There's a great support with that. So for me, it's a dream come true. It's something that I prayed for, and when I see it manifest, it tells me that God is faithful.
I wanted to say that I think it's testament that your music has crossed the borders, at least has begun to infiltrate the continent. You have received some invitations. I know you were in Zimbabwe just recently, but it means people are beginning to appreciate your music at that level. Did you tweak anything? I mean, we know you as a vendor, so you were very true to your vendor roots, and you said, this is the sound that I want to put together.
Now, with the sound, I believe that I'm still doing the same sound. I think there's just some signature Take sound that I don't know where it comes from, but it's there. So I'm still doing the same thing. But one thing that I can say I'm doing differently, or I've done, is just to break the tribalism boundaries. To say, you know what, I understand that I am Venda and I come from Venda. I have to minister to my people. But also, I mean, God has given us the world to minister to. He said, go ye into the world and minister the good news to the people. So I didn't want to limit myself. So I try every album that I do, I'm adding a new language. So with the previous album, we had isiSwati, we had Shona, now we have Swahili, which also allows us to be able to minister to people in Eastern Africa. So those are the things that I can say I'm doing differently.
Yeah. Tell me about what happened to the Glory album. Just on the cusp of the release, you said, "Oh, I've lost all my music. I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, we thought we had lost everything, and yeah, man, like I was just frustrated. And fortunately, when I went to the studio, and my engineer said, "No, don't worry. We managed to retrieve everything, and we were able to release the album." But I just thought, you know what, the devil is trying to attack us here. But always when we face those kind of challenges, I believe that the album is gonna be big. I believe that there's something great that is coming. Hence all the small challenges that you encounter along the way, because the devil knows where you are going.
Yeah, indeed. And when you look at the kind of testimony, there's one that you posted where one of your followers said, not only is this a good presentation vocally, in terms of your BVs, in terms of band arrangement, in terms of your interaction with your audience, in terms of understanding where they are. What does that kind of testimony say to you?
A lot of growth, a lot of maturity. I've been in the industry now for 22 years, full time. So we did not start like this. For me, it took a lot of separation also to get to find myself, to be comfortable in who I am and not want to sound like someone else. So I'm just comfortable with what I'm doing. The band that I'm working with, I've been working with the same band for 15 years now. So we have established a chemistry on stage. We have a sound that is me and my band. So I think those are the things that for me, it just confirms the growth and the maturity that we've been going through.
You're always writing. I mean, are you already writing your next album?
I've already written a couple of songs for the new album, and I wish I could record now.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if you have. I mean, I must still listen to the full album. But I know you picked up a guitar at some point, and you said you wanted to do it for writing. But have you done a track where you're actually playing?
It didn't work. The guitar didn't work. And one thing that I told my MD, my music director, was, I think I can't play instruments that needs me to use a lot of fingers.
Right.
So I was a drummer. Even when I came to Gauteng, I was a proper drummer. I played for a couple of artists. So I enjoyed playing drums. I tried a little bit of bass. You just use like your one finger or two, and that's it. But anything that needs a couple of fingers, no.
It's not for you. It's not for you. You've won a number of awards, some even twice. You've received many nominations across the various spectrum when it comes to faith-based music. You've collaborated, I've mentioned the Bishop, you've collaborated with every other artist that you can think of internationally. Who better to collaborate than Vashawn Mitchell?
Thank you.
Who else do you want to work with? You haven't worked with me, of course, but that's another story.
I've always wanted to work with you, and I thank God that I've told you before. Actually, I think I told you probably 7, 8, 9 years ago. I told you that, and I believe that my dream will still come true. Here at home, I've worked with Dr. Rebecca Malope, the legendary Sipho Makhabane, the legendary Bishop Benjamin Dube, Kaya Mthethwa. I think here at home, I would want to do a song with Koli, Mwango, also Ntokozo Mbambo. Those are the people that I'd love to work with. And also my boy, Wayanda Ntanzi. I believe that if we can do a song together.
What happened? I mean, you know, I always think at some point you went to Swaziland and you realized, you looked at your repertoire and you said, I don't know if these people are going to actually hear what I'm about to say. And then you decided next time I'm going to write a Swati song. And of course, Babeng Site, Ieta is another one that became massive. But with your journey into KZN in particular, how that affected your sound?
It did, honestly, it did. I remember we used to go to KZN, we're doing street promotions, take ranks and all of that. And when we were coming up, it was me, Ropiwa, and Andy Lebi. So when Andy Lebi would go on stage, you would see a lot of people coming in and they really love his music. Ropiwa had a Zulu song. I didn't have a Zulu song. When I sing now, people start going. I'm like, no, there's something wrong here. That's when I'm like, okay, I must do a song that accommodates them so that they can be able to listen to me. Even if my main message might be in a vendor song, but at least let me have a song that can attract them to come and lend me an ear so that I can spread the message even in my own language. So hence I had to learn to sing in Zulu, Xhosa, Swati. So Swati was another language that I'm like, you know what, I love isiSwati, just the way it sounds. And I'm like, okay, I don't hear a lot of Swati songs because I believe that back then, even Swati gospel artists were doing a lot of their songs in Zulu. Yeah. So I'm like, let me do a Swati song. So I was just
it had a lot to do with your mentor as well, because I did meet him last week, and he does tell me the kind of contribution he has made to your music and to your direction. Yeah. You normally do this big thing at the end of the year. I don't know if it's late. Are you still planning to do that?
This year there's a lot happening at home in Venda. Sure, I mean, my boy Rofwa is celebrating also his birthday. Rufuno Daga is celebrating his birthday. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me support them because these are my brothers. So this year we're taking a break. We'll come back again next year.
Taki, the glory. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, so. Thank you for having me.
We'll end the conversation with the brand new single coming from that album. It's called Unkulunkulu.